Well, we settled this valley that we live in 1856. So we were some of the original settlers, and we've been here ever since. Well, that means it's the greatest lifestyle in the world. That we wouldn't want to do anything else. Best place in the world to raise a family of honorable, hard-working kids who love America and love the business and have principles and decency and honesty instilled in them. Well, it means everything because it's our way of life, and we don't want to change our way of life because we've been at this business for about 4 or 5 generations, and we think it's the best way of life in the world, so we don't want to change.
Kid Laney was a cowboy down to the core. He just wanted his ranch and he wanted no more. He never ever dreamed he'd be starting no war. When he scraped up the dollars for the diamond bar, the kid said his family had a right, and for that right he was ready to fight. And the ranger said to tighten the noose, and the Gila wolves were introduced. Kid Laney, bring your cattle to town. If you don't, the wolves will bring your cattle down. Give up your water and your land and your cows. If you don't, we're gonna take them anyhow. To make a long story short and a short story long, the government did Kid Laney wrong. Closed down the roads with a big blockade. The governor would give Kid no aid. Storm over the rangeland, ain't dust or rain. Storm over the rangelands, jackboots and chains. Storm over the rangeland is a real range war, and the only survivors are cowboys to the core. Where the law dogs dragged Kid Laney away, Kid's horse brought down by the pepper spray. Kid's horse struck out with his flailing hooves, for a horse will strike at government wolves. And they took Kid Laney to the federal judge in orange suit and chains. He heard their grudge for assault and deadly weapons, and you are chained. Deadly weapons were your spurs and reins. Storm over the rangeland, not dust or rain. Storm over the rangelands, jackboots and chains. Storm over the rangeland in this range war. The only survivors are cowboys to the core. But the people of the Gila and New Mexico rose up and said, let Kid Laney go. So the politicians all started coming around, said, can't we calm this Laney thing down? And the tree huggers called and offered him cash. If he'd sell his ranch, he'd feel no lash. But the kid said, no, I stand no more. I am a cowboy to the core. Now Kid Laney said, I'll serve my time, though I know that I have done no crime. I've served my country and flag before. Now I'll serve my time for this rangeland. Storm over the rangeland, it ain't dust or rain. Storm over the rangeland, jack boots and chains. Storm over the rangeland, it's a real range war. And the only survivors, cowboys to the core. To the core. To the core.
This time.
The old man used to dream the fortunes he'd seek. Now he lives in a room.
So here's the issue. We've got BLM went in and lit fire along the hillside here by the dump, but there's nobody here. It would be easy with a couple of guys with shovels right now to put this out, and we'd have a good fire break, but when the wind hits it, it's going to carry it right on along the hill and down to Frenchman, which is right there. So and if it creeps away from the hill, obviously in the foreground there's a lot of fuel, so it looks like it's set to burn Frenchman, and that's what they said they would do. So here we go. They're not putting it out, they're lighting it.
This is a bunch of bullshit, let me tell you. We're standing at the Crows, and them sons of bitches started at the corner of the road where it leaves the pavement, and they're lighting that son of a bitch on fire all the way around it. They're going right down there. I'm standing here, me and John Witzel. You got a water truck and stuff, and the grader is building a fire line, and they're building a fire all the way around it. Yeah. And it's a flamer.
Upwind of us.
Yeah, and we're smoke coming right out. Well, John's taking pictures right now, and he said that they told him they're going to torture all the way around to the C-Bar C Road, and Noosewander's cows are fence cornered up down there right now. Gary lost 11 already.
They're just about to burn that outfit up. Nobody's there. They lit the fire and moved right on. This is what they've got lit upwind of us right now. They're putting in a whole line of fire right along that juniper post fence and burning the fence up, number one, but then they're going to continue right on to the west, sounds like, clear up past Leon's cows, so his cows are going to be wrapped in it here pretty quick.
I do not. No. Black Lives Matter, yeah. No.
No. Bureau of Land Management?
Yeah. I do at the Bureau of Land Management.
Loving the cowboy ways, pursuing the life of my high ride.
I don't know what you really could do. I mean, the government kind of controls, or there's nothing you can really do against the government, so you can take them to court. So I don't think there's anything I could do.
What I would do is I would hire a lawyer and I would review my rights, because there has to be something, because the government just can't take your land for no reason.
I would probably be very upset, obviously, but then I would try to do something in court and law to try to make something happen.
So what I would do is I would first probably hire a lawyer, and then second of all, I know for a fact that by constitution rights, you have freedom of property, and if the federal government is supposedly going to take your land to build, I don't know, like a highway or something, they're legally required to pay compensation for it. So I'd make sure that it's secured and where agreement is made. However, if they try to lowball or try to lower the deal, then a lawsuit will probably be made. And if any further attempts to take land, it would probably lead to a court decision. would take it to court. Yeah.
I feel cheated, like there was something unfair going on with the government, and I definitely have a complaint to give. I'd probably take it to court for some amount of financial compensation for the government.
I'd be pretty upset if the government came in and just took my belongings because I worked hard to earn that, and it's just not fair for someone to take something of mine that is mine. Like, the foundation of America is based off of the working class. So if the government were just to come in and take away their property, there'd be no foundation on the economy.
Heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are.
When it comes to property rights and or when you have acquired a good and the government seeks to seize or take away from you that property, there needs to be a just reason, a cause for that property, whatever it is, to be removed. And in the case of ownership of, let's say, land, if it's removed from you, you should be compensated from it. If it's deemed, in the national interest for that land to be reacquired by the government, then you should be properly, at a market rate, value, be compensated for it, at the absolute least. But to absolutely have your property removed from you by the government, confiscated, and not compensated, that is absolutely illegal activity, even under our current rule of law. And the one thing that seems to really stand out to me is that I, having grown up in East Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, I have some of my own family, my ancestors, who growing up in the Tennessee Valley had some of their very farmland taken by the federal government whenever they were building the Tennessee Valley Authority system of dams. And so a lot of people's farmlands all of a sudden got taken. And they were given pennies on the dollar of their value, because the government decided that they wanted to devalue it so they could pay less of what the property was worth to be able to acquire it, to be able to accomplish a greater good that was deemed important, which was the provision of electricity for all of eastern Tennessee and even beyond. Because even today, Tennessee Valley Authority covers and produces all kinds of electricity through hydroelectric power all over the southeastern United States. Was it a good result to provide electricity using natural resources? Yes. Was it a horrible miscarriage of justice where people were literally carried off of their property, arrested, and or had themselves removed from their property and then only given pennies on the dollar of what it was worth? Yes. That is illegal. That is worthy of protest. That is worthy of fighting against in a system where we claim that we have equality under the law. I find myself, even as a public worker right now, in a position of being under assault by our current state of government, where I have been compensated, paid for a retirement, and now officials are coming in and saying that they don't want to honor what money they've taken out of my check and all public workers, police officers, firefighters, teachers, road workers, and are basically saying, when the economy was bad, we had to use that money to operate the government so that we didn't raise anyone's taxes. But now that the economy is much better, we're not going to put that money back. We're just going to make you have to live without it. And that is like stealing from me. And that is what I have a big problem with. When government entitles themselves to helping to what is justly due to people. Water-powered electricity to provide millions of people electricity today that's affordable, absolutely great. But the government should have damn well paid the property value that farmland was worth. And they basically stole it from people by technically giving them a check, but they couldn't turn around and get the same kind of land or the amount of land with the value that they put on that land. Because they basically condemned it because they wanted it. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. That's what I call corruption. Yeah. In my view. And if that was, you want to talk about, what the original colonists were willing to stand up and fight for, it was that kind of injustice. And it was the earliest study. That is the reason, if you have an unjust government that will not or cannot treat people with a respect of what they are due, then that injustice should be rectified. And if they will not correct it themselves, maybe such government needs to be overthrown. Now, that's radical, I'm telling you, but I'm not all for overthrowing the government, so please understand that. I'm not one of these anarchists at all. I actually believe in a democratic republic. I believe in a representative government. But when actions are taken, here's the deal. Those who make choices that inflict undue harm, unnecessary harm, by taking the property of others, those people need to understand that they should understand that they have a political target on their backs and that they will be voted out, and there will be people that will eventually be in there to do what is right. I'm willing to work through the democratic process to effectively bring about change. And that means voting in and voting out, no matter who it is. I don't care if you have a D or an R next to your name. I'm going to vote your ass out of office if you don't stand up for the little guy in this world and you don't follow the rule of law. That's exactly where I stand, but that's just me. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Just to throw it away when the end of the month.
What would you do if the government stole your land, stole your personal horses and your cattle, and made you move out of your house?
There'd be a firefight on my property, and I'd win. Every time. No, but really, I would, I'd probably sue to get my land back. The lost cause anyway, but I might as well try. I'd probably steal my horses back. And if they didn't let me have them, I'd probably kill them. The people, I mean, not my horses. Get my horses back.
If you tried to stop them from stealing your cattle, how would you feel if they brought your horse down in a cloud of pepper spray?
I'd be pissed. I'd shoot them multiple times until they stop moving. Then a couple times once they stop.
Come a wind from the highway, I gotta pick up and go. Yeah, money or none at all, they can't hold me this way. For my blankets are rolled and tied, and I'm leaving today.
Oh, when I die, take my saddle from the wall, put it on my pony, lead him out of the stall, tie my bones to his back, turn our faces to the west. We'll ride the prairies we love the best, ride around little dogies, ride around real slow. Fiery and snuffy, or raring to go. Old Paint's a good pony, he paces when he can. Goodbye, little Coney, I'm all
Me too, my friend.
Good shit.
What else would you do? We're recording. What else would you do?
My foot's in the stirrup, my bridle's
Ask me a question again.
What else would you do?
Oh man, they have a firefight.
What else would you do?
Cows? Don't even get me started. You steal my cows, you're gonna die. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. I'd beat the shit out of them with my belt buckle because obviously I have cows, so I gotta have a big belt buckle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I go up into the court and I whip out my Reese's egg and I eat the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? Just go up to the judge.
No sharing either.
No, of course not.
It's not the place to break down. Just keep driving through. Why would you live here? Some people do.
Tastes like a horse's asshole.
A white knuckle wind blows strong, ain't nothing to slow it down. I watched tumbleweeds race.
I only brought 2 Reese's eggs.
There's no sign of water.
So
They could use an edge or two. To go weeks without it.
You're a fucking retard.
I'm sorry.
You don't know how loud that music was, do you?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Alright, I guess that's it.
Why is your time out?
How many bitches do you plow daily? One.
Good
one good one. That's a good answer. Best answer. Okay. Now we will.
Thank you. You know what they do? They take away land from innocent people. That's right. Fucking right in the ass. That's right.
Wait, shut up.
Or. You heard it here first, folks. That's a cut.
I feel cheated. Definitely like there's actually do that. I'd be like,
Yeah, I can cut it out.
good. Sorry, I've been cool today.
You can start. Why are you recording? I just turn it off.
That's the government trying to take our land. Gotta do something. Just go to school.
Alright, go.
You don't feel it, miss? They're like, I'm sorry, I really didn't want to do this, but because you help him. You take him. You know, with your cookie. Cookie. No, sure feels good to be back home. I just make him.
Oh, it's the
I mean, I thought you were going to pose
yeah.
a question.
Okay, you're fine. I want to see it real quick. I'll hand it back to you. I promise. Okay.
So, what would you do if the government stole your land?